I chose light painting photography as my personal project topic because I wanted to use it as a platform to explore my own creativity. I consider myself very academic rather than artistic, and that's why I wanted to use this opportunity to become more creative. As a result of the personal project, I'm now able to understand that creativity is important. It is important for us to know that we have to be both balanced through our academics and through our creativity, because creativity is a very valuable skill that you can use through everyday life in whatever you do. I now understand that it is very important that we are able to communicate our ideas and our opinions in a range of different methods. For example, each of my images that I've included in my book represent a meaningful concept to me, and through different principles of art such as form and symbolism, I've been able to communicate different ideas. The personal project has allowed me to become more communicative. As I've mentioned, each of my pictures, each of my images represent a different concept, and I've been able to communicate my ideas through different ways. The personal project has also allowed me to become more open-minded, because I've been exposed to a range of different topics by my classmates and friends, and therefore I've learned to value diversity and understand its importance.
For my personal project, I studied neuroplasticity, which is basically the concept of a changing brain or a growth mindset in your brain, and it allows you to remember things better. It allows your brain to be more. It allows your brain to change itself and experience new things, or it allows your brain to adapt to new situations. And for that, I created a booklet that includes techniques for students and on how they can increase neuroplasticity. And I feel that this booklet and the topic are very good concept for students, especially because we are learning all the time, and because we're learning, we need a method to be able to understand everything that we're learning and remember it. As a service element for my project, I went to the Malawi Ministry of Education and looked at the structural disadvantages that Malawi's education system has, and I created a booklet that's for teachers on how they can increase the attention span of their students using neuroplasticity techniques. Through my personal project, I now understand that there are many different people around the world, and everyone's brains and the way they function is different. I also understand that the techniques that I looked at can work for some people but may not work for everyone else, but they do have scientific, they have been proven to be techniques that improve neuroplasticity. I'm now able to learn better through the techniques that I studied. I can apply some of them in my actual life, like through organizational structures. It helps me remember through these techniques. My memory has improved, my work ethic has improved, and I feel that I'm now more of an open-minded person because of my personal project, and especially the topic that I chose.
Hi, so my name's Amaya, and for my personal project I wrote 10 short stories, and after the process I now understand all the different skills that I researched, and I'm now able to apply them into my writing. Before personal project I was really into descriptive writing, and because I was forced to do all these skills, I've really broadened my spectrum of writing ability. After the personal project, I am now more serious about my writing, and it's definitely something that I want to pursue in university and after that.
My topic was architectural design, and my goal was to create 2 houses in 2 different architectural styles, which was Greek art and mid-century, you can see how the houses are supposed to look like in the back. Now understand the different architectural styles which are out there and the characteristics that come with them, and the features as well. I am now able to design houses using the specific architectural styles, and I'm now able to use the application ArchiCAD, which was given to me by an architect in Uganda. I am now more capable of creating houses using the ArchiCAD application, which I use to create this house as an extra project to present as well.
Hello, my name is Ryan, and my personal project was about perpetual motion and pendulums, as you can see here. Now I understand that that different how things beneficial things can be applied to the world, such as my project that could benefit the world in the future, maybe even now, and which would be sustainable to the world. I'm now able to do research and investigate about different topics, and do further, like to proceed more with it and figure out more information about it and understand it more. I'm now more organized. Able to research well, do references, to be organized, to understand the topic.
Project, I developed a book that was based around hippotherapy. And hippotherapy is a form of physiotherapy which utilizes the horse's walking gait in order to deliver a session of physiotherapy. I now understand more about the horse's conformation and how it can either complement a rider or actually be damaging for a rider. I also understand a lot more about physiotherapy and our neurotransmitters and how our sensory integration system works. I'm now more able to evaluate sources effectively, research in a concise and ordered manner.
So for my personal project, I chose to focus on rabies in Malawi. So I created a booklet and I created posters based on it. So all of this I translated into Chichewa so that not only the English speakers could benefit from this, but also the Malawi community. So I'm now more able to take knowledge that I have gained and apply it to create a successful product. I now understand how to verify my sources using OPVL so that I know that my sources are valid, and I know how to, because I've researched about transmission diagnosis and things like that, I now understand how rabies, the virus, is transmitted, how vets diagnose the virus in animals and humans. And I'm now more organized and confident in what I write because I know that what I wrote is correct because I've verified my sources before.
Hi, my name's Ben. I did my project on law and anarchy, and my goal was to create a fictional novella which talked about law and anarchy, trying to use creative writing and storytelling to educate people about these concepts. From this project, I now understand a great deal about how law functions in society and the different concepts of anarchy and how they would function if they could actually be put into effect, creating this sort of utopian society. I am now better able to manage my time, especially with writing a novella, so a short book. Managing my time was a skill I really developed, and also just my basic creative writing skills. I am now more aware of how the legal systems in our world function and different government systems in our world, not only that are currently being implemented, but also the different concepts of anarchic governments. I am now also better able to write a novel and use creative writing as a way to communicate information to others.
Hi, I'm PK here, and for my personal project I chose to research and understand 20 uncommon religions that people may not know, and through that now I understand the different religions that I have researched, and now I can also understand how they allow people to form different relationships and share cultures with each other. Project, I am now able to understand how religions exist and why they exist, which I said that they are a universal feature of humanity that allows people to cooperate, and basically human existence depends on cooperation, where religion is part of us. And I am now able to collect more sources, and I know the methods of how to collect them, because during researching the religions I had to use a variety of sources, where one of my ATL skills was to collect and verify and use the sources, and I also had to implement and respect other intellectual property rights, which I did by citing and referring to the authors always.
My personal project was about how one can use spectroscopy to calculate various properties of stars, such as surface temperature or recession velocity. I made my product to be a booklet, which would first introduce stars and their stellar life cycle, along with the technique of spectroscopy, and then introduce section 2, which was actually going over each property with equations and examples explaining how to calculate the various properties. I now understand that spectroscopy is a technique in which white light is split into its constituent wavelengths, and that by analyzing the spectra of various objects, such as stars, one can analyze the wavelengths to see whether some are thicker, some are missing, some are present, in order to calculate the various properties. I am now able to calculate some of these properties, such as surface temperature using Wien's displacement law, or for example recession velocity using relativistic Doppler formulae, non-relativistic Doppler formulae, cosmological expansion formulae in an Einstein de Sitter universe, etc. I am now more principled, as this is one of the hardest projects I've worked on in my life and one of the most time-consuming ones as well, which means that I had to manage my time extremely well, especially in the last few months, and had to learn how to do extremely quick source evaluation so that I wouldn't get stuck on sources not relevant to my project. I also had to learn how to format this in the best way possible in order to make a clear project easily understandable by your 10 or MYP4 students.